Hi guys, I am so sorry I haven't posted in a while. It's not that I haven't had anything to post, it's that I've been really busy. Every time I think, okay, I need to post a video and let everybody know what's going on, something happens and I don't get a chance. I'm still busy with my mom. We're still making jams and jellies and cookies and stuff to sell and uh, and then last week I spent a couple of days and went to see my best friend. Yay! We spent a couple of days in Tyler, just a little ways from here. She actually rode a bus all the way from San Antonio to Tyler. Well, actually to Dallas. Didn't make the bus ride to Tyler because she gets to the Dallas terminal and they get there in time for the bus, but they never announced that the bus that they were leaving on was leaving. And her and several other people that needed that bus going to Tyler were waiting in line, and were in line before it was time for that bus to leave. And the bus, nobody came and told them what bus to get on, or that it was leaving. And they were still in line, and somebody says the bus is already gone. And that was at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And the next bus going to Tyler was not going to leave until like 8, 9 o'clock at night. So she was going to have to be stuck there all day. And somebody, a girl that was having to, had missed the bus too because, she was on the same bus waiting for that same bus to Tyler. And they happened to be in line both together and was complaining about, y'all did not announce the bus and we missed it. What are we going to do? And a lady next to her said, well, my boyfriend is coming to take me to Tyler because she had to be at the university. And she hitched a ride with them, and bless her heart, she picked some really nice, safe people. I mean, these people, they took care of her and brought her to Tyler. I was worried about her, but wow, I was scared. But she made it, and she said they had a good time, and she learned a lot about them and their culture. But yeah, it's been interesting. I'm not sure I would have the guts to hitch a ride with somebody I didn't know, but and especially in today's society, it's just not safe to do that. But she did. But she also told a lot of people, you know, what was going on and who she was leaving with, and keeping everybody updated. So she played it as safe as she could. And before I forget, because you know me, I'm going to ramble and ramble and ramble. Before I forget, I want to announce we're doing another, excuse me, nose itches, keto collab. This time it is Sinful Sides. It'll be, I'm actually going to videotape it, the film tonight or this evening. And then it'll be uploaded sometime next week. I can't remember exactly what day it is. I actually almost forgot to do this video to announce it. So, but yeah, we're going to get it done. Also, I wanted to let y'all know, because it has been several weeks since I posted any updates. I think the last update y'all knew about my weight was that I had finally hit that 100-pound loss barrier. Oh, I struggled and struggled. I was beginning to think my body was just going to not get past that barrier, but it did. And I think the last I posted was I had lost 102 pounds. After I'd done that, then for a couple of weeks I would lose 0.2, and then I'd gain 0.2, lose 0.2, but I was still staying under that. And then I lost some weight. Last week I actually lost 7 pounds. So grand total of weight loss so far as of Monday is 118 pounds. I am firmly out of the 500 range, out of the 400 range, and now I'm in the 300 range. I now weigh, as of Monday, I weigh 390 pounds. I can definitely tell a difference. So much so that, as you know, me and my mom make jams and jellies to sell. And one of the things we wanted to do was get some wild grapes and make a wild grape jelly. And I had seen several along the road that were ready. And last night I told Mom, I said, we need to get those picked. If we're going to do it, we need to do it now. Okay, sorry about that. My phone died. Back to where I was at. So we had decided that we needed to go and pick some wild grapes. And I saw some that was ready. And me and my mom, well, start off, I suggested that we go with this morning. My suggestion, which normally I would have let her just, say, come on, let's go. Because I would have been dreading it. I knew that I, wouldn't have been able to do it because I hadn't been able to stand very long or walk around or just do anything without, running out of breath or my knees hurting or a back hurting. But I told her, I said, I suggested, let's go this morning. And so we got up early this morning, went out about 8 o'clock, and we went down the road and found some good batches. In fact, we got probably a good 2 gallons of wild grapes. They're called Mustang grapes. And so, we both, between us, got 2 gallons worth. And I have to say that I did it. I didn't hurt until at the end. My feet had started hurting, and because the way we were standing, it's not as if I was standing straight. I was kind of standing at an angle, and my feet had started to hurt. But I have to say that it's a new non-scale victory for me. Because doing anything too long has not been very easy. Normally I would have to sit somewhere, and this time I didn't have to. We both went and got the grapes, and I got more than she did, but to be fair, she actually happened to find more ants than I did. So she was fighting the ants, and while I was, getting the grapes, and I don't know what they're called. They're little weeds that have these seeds that stick on you. By the time she got through, she had been covered in ants and covered in seeds, and I encountered no ants and 1 seed. So I actually got the better end of the deal than she did. So it was a good morning. So we got enough. She's out there actually now processing the grapes, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's a new non-scale victory for me, to actually be able to go out and do something like that I haven't been able to do in years. And I don't remember the last time I've been able to do anything like that. Several years ago, I went to San Antonio to see my friend that I told you had come visit me, and I could barely, she lived on the 2nd floor, and I could barely get up the steps and without thinking I was going to have a heart attack. And so, barely left her apartment the whole time I visited her, and when we would go out, I'd stay in the car, or, if went to the grocery store, I ended up having to hold on to the buggy and praying it would be over real quick, because my back was hurting, and my knees were hurting. I couldn't walk very well. And that's another thing. My mom says that I'm now walking better than I was. She can tell. She said I had gotten to the point where I was waddling. How a obese person waddles when they walk. She said now my walk is become more normalized. It'll probably be a lot more normal the more weight I lose. But yeah, so there has been some changes. It's it's been a while, a ride. Here we are in July, and I'm almost a month away from my year keto anniversary. So I mean I think that's pretty awesome. This is also the longest of any weight loss program that I've ever been on. Uh, you know, without getting off and getting back on and getting off and getting back on. So uh, it can be done. It really can be done. It's just, oh, there's something I wanted to say. My friend that came and visited me. If there's anybody that I could convince to go on keto and stay on keto and do it successfully, it's her. I really want her to. And it has nothing to do with her losing weight, because I would love her, regardless of what size she is. Um, she's nowhere near as big as I am. I mean, nowhere near. But she's battling diabetes. And so while she was here, um, I she's the type of person. We're the type of friends that we can have a heart to heart talk and not worry that we're preaching at somebody. She knows that when I tell her something that I honestly mean it, and I mean it in the best of ways, and I only want the best for her, and she knows that, and I know that she only wants the best for me. And so we started talking about keto, and she was asking me different questions, just what is it that, could she have this? And I would, tell her yes or no, and if no, I would give her alternatives, and telling her, the different things, and she knows that I allow certain things that normally doesn't, but then I also explained to her that what she really needed to focus on was those foods that raised the insulin level, and so we talked, and I explained to her, and also I explained to her things that she didn't think to ask, but other people would say, how people are when you tell somebody you're on keto, and well, they never were with me, because people tend to not be that brave with me, because I'll turn around and tell them, how it is. But with her, people seem to think that they can tell her, oh, she's eating the wrong things, or just they tend to be a little freer with their advice than people really should. And so I explained to her, when about the keto acidosis and the ketones, and explained the difference to her, and I said, but in her case, I said, it's probably best that you don't really tell anybody that you're doing this, because, unless they know what it is and actually understand it, that they're going to just freak out on her, especially with her diabetes. And she has type 2 diabetes. So the 2 days that she was with me, well, the first day, she ate on her own. So the second day, whatever, other than breakfast, she went down and had her breakfast, and she was telling me what she had. So really the only thing non-keto that she had was a half of a biscuit. Everything else that we ate during the day was keto, very low carb. I mean, probably no more than, I think the only thing that I had that had any carbs that day was, what was it? We went out to a Mexican restaurant, and I've been there before, so I knew what it was, and looked up the sauce that was on there. It's a chicken, it's got mole sauce. And I know what the carb count was and the amount of mole sauce, because I just got the chicken and not heaped on the sauce on everything. So the carb count would be no more than like 5 for the amount of sauce that there was on. So she pretty much had the same thing. She didn't get any other thing other than menudo, and I'm not really sure what is in menudo, but I'm not thinking there would be too much carbs because I know how it's made, unless there's some thickener in it. That'd be about the only carb. So really, her carb load that day was down way than normally she did. But she's been having to check her blood and do insulin shots 3 times a day. The next morning we woke up, she checked her blood sugar, and she told me, she said, I'm really going to do keto because, and here's why. Normally when she checks her blood sugar in the mornings, it has been anywhere from like, high 200s to high 300s. That's how large it has been, how high it has been. She said she woke up and checked it, and she said it was 186, I think. She said for her that was awesome. The doctors told her that for her that would be awesome. So she actually saw that one day the advantage of eating keto because it had an immediate effect on her blood sugar. Immediate. So I'm really hoping that she keeps up with it because it means her life. It really does. And I just, and I told her, and I gave her sources. In fact, I've got to email her some more that she can look at to keep her on. But yeah, she really needs keto in a worse way. I would say we probably needed it just as much each because I'm so big that I was probably going to not wake up one night, and she may very well, her high blood sugar just end up killing her. So if I could convince anybody to do it, that she's the one I would want to convince. And but yeah, it was an emotional week. But I don't know. It just odd that, and then we were talking about something too. So, mind you, I'm not a doctor. I don't know the studies on this. But I was, we got to talking, and she said her family ancestry, her mom come from the Philippines, so her mom's family side is from the Philippines. I'm not sure what her dad is, but you can tell she favors them quite a bit. She said that every family member that has come from the Philippines over to America, probably a good majority of them have diabetes. Now, she visited her family over in Philippines, and she said not a single one of them has diabetes. And she said, I don't understand because, they eat carbs over there. She said every morning they wake up, they have rice. Every meal they have a bowl of rice and then whatever else. She said there's that. And I explained to her, I said, my theory is that America comes over, and it's, sure, the carbs are not good for you, but I think because when we buy things, like we buy bread, we buy, whatever it is that we buy processed, it's got chemicals in it. It's got, they spray it, and it's got all these preservatives, and it's got junk that we don't need. In the Philippines, they grow their own rice. They grow everything they eat. They don't have the luxury of going to town to the grocery store and buying a loaf of bread. They don't have that luxury. So everything they eat, they have to make. And so they're not getting all the chemicals that we can't pronounce. They're not getting all that. They're not getting the high fructose sugar that's put in everything they eat.